is the Saboteur? Is it a game set in one of the most intense periods of early modern Earth history? Yep, yes it is. Do you get to play as an arse-kicking Irish lad? Yeah, you do. Do you get to free a Nazi Germany occupied Paris? Yeah, you know you do. So sign me up for this game. Get ready to explore an occupied Paris just after June 14th, 1940. In the Saboteur, you get to play as Sean Devlin, an Irish race car driver turned revolutionary fighter and Nazi arse kicker. You guys know I like to give as much history as I can in some of these if it applies. So here it is. Here's the history time of this game. While this is a by the book standard RPG, it does draw inspiration from the real life William Charles Frederick Grover Williams. His last and first name are the same. I like little things like that. He was a real life Irish Grand Prix driver turned SOE or Special Operations Executive in World War II. He helped organize the Chestnut Network in occupied Paris during the war. And in 1945, William was captured by the Nazis and brought to, we're gonna butcher stuff today, so get ready, y'all. He was brought to Sachsenhausen-Oranienburg concentration camp, where he was allegedly executed there from February or March of 1945, about 2 months or so before the camp was liberated. There's your history time. Now, minor history lesson aside, let's get back to this 2009 game. As you can tell, it's very dated looking from its the onset of what you guys are seeing. It's a very early 2000s or even late 2000s game at a first glance. From the basic user face to the sometimes mismatched fonts on the user interface, on PC at least. I played on PC, of course I played on PC. And it has some dated gameplay mechanics. But it didn't take away from how much fun I had with this game, and I had fun playing it. I'm a sucker for games like this though. I like a game with tons of busy work. You guys know that one of my favorite series of all time is Assassin's Creed, so that says a lot about me as a gamer. The Saboteur is often referred to as Pandemic Studios' swan song as well. It was the final game they made before the studio closed and its assets were liquidated. There are many things cut and discarded for the sake of time, according to Wikipedia. Let's read into some of those things that were cut. So there were a few areas cut from the game in late developments. That included a giant Nazi missile silo built into the side of a mountain called Valhall, and this was told by Jason, I hope I'm going to say this right, Jason Hazelroth, who spent 3 years designing the project. In further concept art, Hazelroth also revealed that there was an experimental Nazi jet called the XJ-05. It functioned as a boss fight while it was still docked, while another jet, the smaller jet, the JX-07, the player would use to, fly around and defeat the boss. But those never came to be. Those were cut out of the game. I enjoyed, as much as this game probably was hacked, cut, sliced, and diced, I enjoyed the unique spin it had on the classic complete your task to unlock map sections of the gameplay. As you can see, I've not turned the saturation down, I've not messed with what you guys are seeing in any way. The game starts in color, and it stays that way through the opening and the Starbrücken Grand Prix. It's a bright, beautiful, colorful world until Sean and his friend Jules are captured at Doppelsieg. I'm Doppelsieg? Probably butchering that. It's an automotive factory that the main guy, Kirk Dierker, yeah, doesn't that name just make you want to punch him, works for. They're questioned by Dierker, the man who cheated Sean out of winning the Grand Prix by shooting his tires. Dierker also happens to be a Nazi SS commander. Just a winning combination there. Immediately from meeting him in the bar, when he tells Veronique, who is your sister, she better get used to German sausage, you can't help but hate him. And yes, that sausage comment has a double meaning for his little pickle. His little German pickle. Anyway, moving aside from that tiny German pickle, thinking they're spies, Dierker kills Jules to force Sean to talk. And this is not spoilers, this is literally happens before the opening card credits roll, This is the start of the game, the first 30 minutes of the game. In that moment, the color fades away and everything except for eye color and German red stays. And that's when it dawns on us, and Sean, that he got his best friend, almost his brother, killed for not backing down. He failed to keep him safe like he promised Veronique he would. Thus kicks off Sean's story of doing what's right and getting revenge. As you play, you liberate the areas, and the color returns to those areas. They become vibrant once more, almost like Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. The color coming back represents the hopes and freedom returning to Paris. Now get ready for me to butcher some names. With the help of Skylar, a former and sometimes current lover of Sean's, and a British spy, Véronique Courceau, who is Jules' sister, and Luc Gardin, who is the resistance fighter leader, you work to free Paris and get to Dierker, the man who started it all. I'm not going to spoil the stories. You know, if I believe you should play this game, I'm not going to spoil it. And as straightforward as it seems, some of the story moments there were twists and turns, kind of catching me off guard sometimes. It's more than just a simple revenge story, and you can get it right now in most digital stores, including EA Play through Game Pass. Not sponsored by Game Pass, not nothing. I just want you guys to play this game, and if you have Game Pass, you can play it for free. I will say, again, not to spoil the story, but the ending boss fight involves you, Dierker, on the Eiffel Tower, and one of you is going off, and it's so satisfying. And from the start of this game, all I could think of immediately was Saboteur was World War II Assassin's Creed. And not like the sections in Unity and Syndicate where you go to, World War Paris in England, but like a full game set in that time. I don't think we'll ever see it, but I can be hopeful. I mean, we have Vikings now. The climbing reminds me of like an early Assassin's Creed 1, maybe even Assassin's Creed 2, but mostly AC1. It's almost like a half climbing system that you would see in those games. You can climb anywhere, but there's only some ways that will take you straight to the top, and if you choose the wrong way, you either have to try to shimmy onto another part of the path if it's available, or climb all the way down and start back over on the right path. Additionally, when you climb, and in my case I was playing on the PC, you have to hit space for every climb and grab, almost like a clunky Catwoman climbing system from the Arkham games, just not done well here. Interestingly, at the beginning of this game, it does emphasize a lot of hand-to-hand combat, yet once you meet Dierker and escape to Paris, you hardly really use it. You might panic spam if you get caught off guard, or if you're, a little bit of a sadist, you might like those up-close stealth kills, but even then you have more than enough ammo half the time, unless you, get stuck using one weapon, which I did. I love my suppressed pistol. I couldn't help myself. I want those stealth kills from far away. You have a variety of weapons to choose from, though. You got pistols, shotguns, rifles, anti-tanks. You can also buy bombs, machine guns, and they can all be upgraded through merchants around the city. Now, there's a lot of busy work to do. This follows the Assassin's Creed formula almost to a T sometimes, but that's not a bad thing. Y'all know I like busy work. The Saboteur has you destroy this rocket, take out this SS officer, smash this propaganda box, and so much more. The main story is actually fairly short, but it's the side missions and the busy work that pad this game out. It can take probably like an 8-hour game and put it up to 40 hours if you really want to do everything, let's be honest. And getting around the map is fairly easy. It's not a huge map. It's decently sized. It's easy to get around unless you go out to the country. You'll be running around, driving around, and sometimes it's not even worth stealing a car or something because the next place is right there, or it's just weird, and there's no fast traveling either. But no fast travel aside, this is more than just a simple revenge story. Luckily, the game doesn't end the same way it did for the real-life William, but it does end on a perfect setup for a sequel that just never came and never probably will come. God, it's frustrating because I would love to have seen this. I love studying World War II era, military tactics, stories behind them, the people's lives stories, and this would have just been so good with a sequel. It had some big names in there too. After this game released, though, customers reported that the game was unplayable with an ATI graphics card. Some retailers had to place warnings on their websites and declare the game's compatibility problems. Workarounds were found, but they caused more problems sometimes. Pandemic's employees acknowledged the issue and released a beta patch on December 18th, 2009. I'm hoping with this on Game Pass, like I said, you guys will dive into it. There's gonna be, what you get is what you get, because like I said, Pandemic is shut down. They have been for a very long time now, but I hope you guys, dive into this. Saboteur is a little hidden gem of a game from an era of gaming that we don't really see anymore. It's that weird early 2000s, let's copy Assassin's Creed because it got super popular out of nowhere. And let's also be like, that was also the time where there was a lot of like World War II games, like 2009, early 2000s, yeah. But that doesn't take away from how much I love this game. And my obsession with Assassin's Creed. Like I said, if you're curious, it's a cheap pickup or it's on EA Game Pass. I do want a physical copy of this, I just don't know where to find it. Probably eBay. This is definitely a game that you have to play or you should play, and I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions if you have played it or if you're going to play it. Let me know in the comment section below, and I love you guys. Thank you guys for, listening to me ramble about this weird little gem of a game. And if you've made it this far, let's have a code word. The code word is pickle. So if you got this far and you're still listening, the code word is pickle. Put it down in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.